Eddington is a 2025 modern neo-western dark comedy starring Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal and Emma Stone, Austin Butler, and some other people in this good ensemble cast. It has a good cast, a interesting screenplay, an interesting setting. It's set in the fictional town of Eddington, New Mexico, during the 2020 um, what outbreak. You know what I'm talking about. To the C, to the 1, to the 9. It's a satire. It makes fun of the politics and the controversy that was going around on during that time. Like it makes fun of both sides, like the side that tries to force people to lock down and to wear masks, while the and the other side things that violates people's freedom of speech, constitutional rights to freedom of choice and all that. And the main character, the Sheriff Joseph Cross, played by Joaquin Phoenix, he has asthma, so and the the face mask doesn't help him breathe as good because of his asthma. So he tries to run for mayor against the mayor who wants to keep the lockdown going. The mayor's played by Pedro Pascal. He's a corrupt politician as usual, and this movie does a good job satirizing both sides, although it leans more towards one than the left than the right, whatever. And the sheriff's mom, she really got on my nerves. She's just crazy conspiracy theorist, always ranting about this and that, and yada yada yada. That's why I don't go on Facebook as much as I used to, because people are just posting all these conspiracy theories. Yeah, I just get on my freaking nerves. Well, whatever. Enough of that. But I do like this movie, and I don't think it deserved to fail at the box office. I think one of the main reasons it failed was because it was like very long, like almost 3 hours long. Like a lot of people don't care for Ari Aster as a director because his movies are overlong, and they probably didn't want to see a movie based on something that didn't even happen 20 years ago. It didn't happen long before they were even born. It happened like 6 years ago, well, 5 years ago when this movie came out, and people didn't want to relive that. So that's obviously why it failed. And people said this movie was Oscar bait. Probably was. It didn't get any Oscar nominations. It deserved a Best Picture nomination, in my opinion. And I mean, originally when I heard of this, I was itching to see it because I love westerns and I love the poster. They first posted a show for it with all these like herd of buffalo like jumping off this cliff one by one. And this is a dark comedy, and it does have some moments of humor. And the supporting cast was Emma Stone as Louise, the sheriff's wife, who's in, becomes infatuated with this cult leader played by Austin Butler. She leaves the sheriff for spoilers. The the pacing is a bit slow at times. It does drag on for more than it should have. Which I mean, that movie that Joaquin Phoenix previously made with Ari Aster, Beau Was Afraid, I didn't care for that. All stupid and bloated and overlong. The plot didn't make much sense to me. This one was a little better, although it could have had some editing. It could have done some editing to make it shorter, and it would have been a lot better. Annoying mother-in-law played by Deidre O'Connor, and I didn't care for. Well, the performance was all right. She pulled off the mother's insane rambling good, but the mother-in-law would. I did not care for that character. She should have been written better. But it's okay if she went on some ramblings here and there, but I didn't need to hear it through the whole thing every time she appeared on screen. Emma Stone, she does a good job playing the wife who is like mentally ill, and Pedro Pascal does a good job playing the mayor, showing off the charisma and the political corruption that most politicians have today. The action scenes are shot all right. They're mostly like a mix of humor and blood and gore, but not too graphic, but still graphic. They're meant to be more humorous than awesome. The action scenes, especially the scene where these terrorists try to take over the town at night, and the sheriff fights them in the streets. It's a good shootout scene. And there's just some kid who joins the Black Lives Matter movement just to mostly to rebel against his dad who doesn't agree with it, but also to because he likes this girl who's in it and he wants to get laid. But and it shows how stupid he is. And this is some member protester, left wing protester who's protesting for BLM, and then she gets into an argument with the sheriff's deputy who happens to be black, and she says, "What are you doing working for these stupid cops? All cops are bad. You should be on our side." Blah blah blah. This movie does a good job showing the nonsense and the stupidity and extremism on both the left and the right, especially during all the stuff that went on in 2020. and it kind of doesn't take sides, and it kind of like leans more towards one side than the other. But just like one battle after another, it has its flaws, but it does try to balance it to as best it can. But it could have done a better job with that. The the- yeah, that's good doing like the social and political climate of the time, it's still going on today with all the nonsense going on in America now. The the ending, it's there. I don't know. This is a good movie, but not as good as it should have been. I give it a thumbs up. But that's my review. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe for more. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.